Hello, my beautiful friend. The following episode is a tribute and memorial to a dear friend of my family, Jerry Julian, who passed away a few weeks ago. Despite the title of the episode, this one is likely not going to be well suited for children. For a few weeks now, I've known that I wanted my next episode to be this one, but I wasn't emotionally ready to create it yet. So thank you, my beautiful friend, for your patience and understanding as now moving forward, we step back into our regular Daily Magic episode release schedule. Give big hugs to those that you love and care for, and tell them that you love them. And without further ado, the magic of Santa Claus. Welcome to Daily Magic, a cozy corner of the world where you're invited to rediscover and experience the abundant magic that dances through your life. This podcast is slow living wrapped in sparkles, self-love woven with inspiration, and mindfulness dipped in wonder. So brew up a cup of tea in your favorite mug, settle into your comfiest chair, and join me, Shaina Wexler, as we allow ourselves this respite to romanticize our lives and revel in daily magic. Jerry Julian was the embodiment of magic. For you see, Jerry was Santa Claus. But really, Jerry was a long-time professional Santa Claus. For Jerry, Santa wasn't a role that he picked up in mid-November and vacated on December 26th. Rather, he lived the Santa life every single day. Jerry had flowing white hair and an impressively long white beard to match. Devoted to his role, he washed them with purple shampoo to keep them pristinely white. He had sparkling light blue eyes that held a world of kindness, gentleness, and inimitable humor within them. Jerry traversed the world in his cherry red VW Beetle and later red pickup truck. And he held an up-to-date reindeer sleigh driving license that he would produce if questioned about his identity. His go-to day-to-day uniform was a pair of blue jeans, a red bandana, and a red turtleneck shirt, which he would often tuck his long beard into while doing day-to-day tasks. Jerry never left his home without a thick pile of red bookmark ribbons inscribed in gold with the words, "I am on the nice list," which he would award to the throngs of young children who stopped in their tracks in awe, mouths gaping, eyes sparkling with hopeful hesitation, when they would happen to witness Jerry about his business in the grocery store, the hardware store, or his favorite destination, Cold Stone Creamery. He had many sets of sleigh bells, which he must have bought in bulk, that he would gift to the kids as well. Jerry took the role of Santa very seriously, and he was so much more than just the visual representation of the time-honored character. Jerry lived with the heart, soul, and demeanor of Santa Claus. Time with Jerry always meant an afternoon of positivity, uplifting conversation, and being told that I was, quote, good juju. True to the ideal, he almost always arrived to my family home with sweets in tow as well. He would bring my mom a dozen mini-size bundt cakes, or do a surprise pass-by, wherein she would arrive home to find a cooler on her porch and multiple pints of her favorite ice cream within. Jerry thrived on helping others. He fixed my mom's sprinkler system, hauled away fallen trees, and even decided one day that she should have motion-activated floodlights for safety, and then took it upon himself to buy and install those for her. In my early 30s, I went through a stretch of years where being an acrobat and a handstand queen was my entire personality. And during that time, there was more than one occasion where, upon doing my daily mailbox check, I'd be surprised to find an unexpected package in my mailbox with the return address revealing the word Santa. I would excitedly unpack acro and workout clothes that he had bought for me and find multiple "I'm on the nice list" ribbons tucked and folded into them. There were always handwritten notes in Jerry's recognizable scrawl about him being proud of me and excited to see what I would do next. These surprise packages brought me so much joy and uplift that it is difficult to even put into words. My favorite memory of Jerry, though, was one that occurred only a year or so ago. My pup, Etoile, and I were in town visiting my mom at my family home when he stopped by for a visit. Etoile, being the best guard dog in the world, immediately rushed towards Jerry upon his entry into the foyer, barking viciously at this intruder, and I will never forget Jerry's response. Instead of standing rigidly, looking down his nose at his aggressor, or attempting to push past her or reason with her, he reflexively laid down on the floor, putting himself in the least imposing position possible. He laid there, relaxed and calm, on the hardwood floor of the entry, allowing Etoile the time to de-escalate, become curious, and feel safe enough to approach. Many minutes went by before she slowly approached his reclined body. He made no sudden moves, didn't attempt to touch or subdue her. Instead, he began speaking quietly and gently to her, letting her know that she was safe. When she became comfortable enough to push up against him, he then extended his large, rugged hand for her to sniff, and then slowly began to pet her. Jerry laid there on the floor, petting Etoile for over a half hour while he engaged in catch-up conversation with me and my mom. I'll never forget that it was his reflex to be gentle, patient, and soft. Early in my relationship with Jerry, I asked him what had sparked his desire to embody the essence of Santa Claus the way that he did. And without hesitation, he shared that initially, his natural likeness to the icon caused his ego to be stroked. At first, he just liked the attention. He liked being recognized and being treated as special. But he explained that aspect quickly evaporated as he began to understand the good and the positive impact he was able to have in this world while being associated with a character of magic, of possibility, and goodness. It then became his mission to be part of keeping magic alive in this world all year long. Not just in December, where he would, for 25 years of his life, perform his beloved role of Santa Claus in Rochester, Minnesota, and kick off each Christmas season there by being, quote, rescued off the roof of their town hall. I always saw him with a smile on his face. But I never saw him more excited, his eyes more glistening, more joy erupting from him than when he was preparing for that gig. Jerry cherished seeing children's eyes light up with wonder. He loved keeping the magic of life alive. He gave generously of his time and presence every time he went out into public, like the most humble of celebrities who couldn't go anywhere without being recognized. While spending time together, my mom had the honor of witnessing many magical Santa moments between Jerry and an awestruck child and their parents. While she always enjoyed the interactions and loved being part of that moment of magic, she admitted that she also always felt a little bit worried that she was perhaps participating in a lie. Vexed by the idea, as many parents are, that their children wouldn't trust them once the grand secret was finally revealed. For many, there's a fear that Santa and other magical holiday figures are deception of some kind. But for me, I've always viewed Santa and his representation quite differently. Beyond being a true historical figure who gave generously to the poor, there's a deeper, enduring truth in the myth that Santa Claus has become. One that transcends literal belief and taps into something profoundly human. Our need for wonder, for hope, and shared joy. At his core, Santa Claus is a personification of selfless giving. He expects nothing in return, asks only for belief, and arrives quietly and humbly, bringing joy to others. He teaches children that the world is capable of true goodness. He teaches us that kindness can appear without warning, and that someone cares deeply enough to give, even if just to make you smile. There is a VHS home video with footage of me on Christmas at 4 years old, completely overcome with joy and disbelief that I had received 3 gifts from this amazing person named Santa Claus who didn't even know me. I remember that the fact that he cared about me so much to do that for me caused me to feel so much overflowing love through my body. The video footage of me shows me explaining to my family the grueling process that Santa goes through in order to deliver presents and how dirty and soot-covered he gets on his journey. And I exclaimed, "It takes a lot of energy to do all that." Well, actually, I had some speech impediments, so I said, "It takes the energy to do all that." And in utter delight, I squealed, "Who would ever do this for me?" In fact, I was so overcome by the goodness, kindness, and generosity of Santa Claus that prior to opening a single one of the 3 gifts, I stopped the whole Christmas proceeding to ask my parents if they could please help me write a thank you note to Santa. And I wanted it to say, "Dear Santa, thank you for these nice presents." And when my big brother, Gabe, heard my idea, he immediately wanted to write a thank you note as well. You see, Santa had thrust our household into the spirit of deep gratitude. Santa represents a thread of magic in a world that often insists on facts and reason. He invites children and adults to suspend disbelief, if only for a season, and to live in a mindset where the impossible feels just a little bit possible. Santa isn't a lie. He's a metaphor that we all participate in to keep a spark of imagination alive. Belief in Santa is also a shared cultural act. Adults play Santa together for their own children, for each other's children, for strangers through charitable acts. The Santa myth encourages people to be kinder, more giving, more joyful, not just to kids, but to each other. That's not a deception. It's a ritual of collective kindness. Even when children grow out of literal belief, many come to understand, sometimes with awe, that the quote lie was actually a profound act of love. They realize that their parents and society worked to create a magical world just for them. And that realization is its own kind of magic. So while, yes, this episode is designed to be a memorial to the loving, generous, gentle, funny, kind-hearted, giving man who was Jerry Julian, it is also designed to be a reminder and an invitation that we have the opportunity every day to use our creative spirit to create magic, awe, and wonder for others the way that Jerry did. That we can infuse our sphere of influence with genuine goodness for the sake of goodness. So be good for goodness' sake. Jerry shared blessings. He was a pillar of light, and he was the magic in this world. I love you, Jerry.
Be blessed.